Hello and welcome back to our sustainable journey. I'm Steve. Today we are going to feed the worms. So we have all of our little worm bins here, and I've got all the big ones over there behind the cows. And I have a scoop of basically what the food scraps become after a few months. And so we take this pre-composted stuff. So what we do is we take the food scraps, we mix them in with cardboard, we mix wood chips, and we make this mush. And this is basically a compost. This is almost finished compost. We could technically just use this, but I really like the worm castings. I like the finished product that they produce. And so you can see like there's still a little bit of wood chips in here. There's some leftover bags, the compostable bags. That is a avocado shell, compostable bag, some eggshells over here. So stuff that's still not quite finished yet, but for all intents and purposes, it's good to go. So we have the worm bin that we created. I'm looking for this. We have the worm bin we created the other day. So we're going to start with that one. So let me get it up here. Lift it. Okay. So here they are. They have not been fed yet. They are exploring. So there's some on the sides. Doesn't look like any on the lid, but they're on the sides. And so we are going to get them fed. What I want to do is see how they're looking. If they're, yeah, they're starting to. So, some tips for feeding your worms. Bury your food, bury your food, bury your food. Because if you do not bury your food and you put all your food scraps and things on top, it will bring in other pests. You do not want other pests. Other pests can be mice or rats or you name it. So bury your food. I'm not going to, because we all have these sealed bins, and this is in our shed where the barn cats live, and so any pests will get removed pretty quickly. So as far as burying your food, what a lot of people do is they'll put it in a corner. So what I'm going to do here. So I will always put it in like this corner, we'll say, right? And then the next time around, you're going to put it in that corner, and then that corner, and that corner, and then you just kind of rotate through the bin, and that gets the worms to kind of cycle through everything. So I'm going to bury that up just for funsies. Actually, chicken bone, that's the worms are, it's going to take them forever. I'm going to put this back in the compost pile when I'm done with for the day. And the hot compost will break that down eventually. So that's it. Each of these bins is going to get about a scoop or two, depending on how deep they are. Will kind of tell me how many worms it has in it. So it's all a guess, basically, but they're all going to get about a pound per bin per week. And then the big bins are going to get a layer, a couple inch layer around the whole top, because there's hundreds of thousands of worms in those bins, and they go through a lot of food. So we're going to get going. And what I do when I feed my worms, because we have so darn many of them, is I stack them on pallets. So they're all on pallets, and I have an empty one. And what I'll do is I'll move them around, and that way when I need to get to the hay bales, because we feed the cows a couple of times a week, I need to move these out of the way, and it's easy when they're on pallets to just move them around. You probably don't have 30 or 40 worm bins at home, and so you probably don't need to do that, but that's what I've always done. Let's see, we just stack them. So there's 4 by 5, so there's 20 right there. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then a 30th one that I need to put together today. and then all the big ones. So yeah, 40 worm bins. So let's get going on that. Okay, that was a fun little exercise in how much I can sweat. So they're stacked and ready to go. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 16. So we're 29. Right? 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 29. Because I made 2 while I was doing that. So this one and that one are brand new. Not that you can really tell that. So now I'm gonna get a new scoop and we'll head over to the big bins and get those ones fed. So we've got these 5. Those 3 are being sifted at the moment. And then this one I need to refill, which is why we're doing all of the breeding bins to get it reloaded. And then we're gonna have those 4 or 3 for a total of 4 that will need to be filled. So of course it rained last night, so all these lids are wet, but all right, let's dig in. So for the big bins, we don't use the little tools, we use the big tools, pitchforks, and just basically toss hunks in there. So this is the before. Give me a second, I'll show you the after. Okay, there we go, that's good enough. It's a nice layer. And now we move on to the next one. And just on down the line. Look at them all. Oh, they're everywhere. See, they're all tucked in here. Every part of this bin, chock full of worms. It's a good sign. Just to show you, even in these big bins, the worms explore. All right, that'll do it. It's the last one. It is now full. I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you all next time. All right, so how many bugs can we see? See, there's one. There's one over here. There's one over there. There's one there. Bunches of them. It's compost. Everybody's eating it.